Okay, hello my friends. So I wanted to make this video because I was thinking about this. I'm always thinking about something, but thinking about how when people say you got to put in the work when it comes to personal growth or whatever it is. And basically back in the day, I feel like it was pretty much that means working on yourself. Maybe somebody meant going to a therapist, right? That's it. Okay, you're all good. Meet once a week, talk about your thing, whatever. Like you're doing a good job, right? I think that we have evolved. I know that I have evolved because I have never done that formally. So I did all my personal growth work on my own. Yes, I had the help of different things, resources that helped me, but I was always the one kind of pushing myself along, probably because, again, I believe that pain is information and frustration is a means of growth, like Bruce Lee says. So somehow back then, I got really intrigued by it, and the more that I learned and kind of got addicted on the personal growth path, that's how I kept going. So what I wanted to say is putting in the work. Basically, when you come to a coach like me, is that I'm going to find out what works for you. So I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions to figure out what you're willing to do, and we can keep it really simple by just changing your language. Okay, so going back to it's many options out there, right? So I'm going to pick whether it's journaling and asking questions to you. I'm going to help you think of those questions. When you start journaling or writing, actually things will come out. You'll get answers for yourself, guidance for yourself. Okay, then I might recommend some other alternative things like Japanese finger holding, some different mudras that help with stillness and balance and peace and different things. You might get some resource videos. I might recommend other self-help books, my podcast, other people's podcasts. It might be yoga. I don't even do yoga regularly, but maybe it's going to be yoga. Maybe it is going to be self-defense. Of course, I'm going to include that in there. So then you always hear me run my mouth about that. Okay. It could be Reiki, hands-on work. It could be going to your church or your temple, this or that or whatever. Maybe helping you open you up to be more social. And that would, there's a reason though that I'm doing that. So it isn't just like back in the day going to a therapist and you're all good. Okay. Number 2 that I wanted to say is holistic, whole body, mind, spirit integration, right? So what I mean by that also is you're not just doing the journaling. Okay. So maybe it's journaling, doing all of those things I listed. That's what means holistic. Okay, so you might be feeling like, oh, I'm doing all good, that I'm doing my journaling and whatever, but things are still continuing in my life to have these issues. Well, that's why, because it has to be a lifestyle. Okay, understand? So that is the best way that I can describe it. And my vault of the 20 years of knowledge is that I've done so many different things. I feel like I can recommend and pick something for you that is going to stick and work because it's actually something you're going to do. I know when I was listening to stuff or went to workshops or listening to positive speakers, I'm all, that's really great, but I'm not going to do that. I know I'm not going to do that. Okay. When I was when I was first learning self-defense and I saw certain things that they were doing, it was things that were being said, I was like, I'm not going to do like that. I'm not going to do that. Like, is there another way? I don't speak like that. So how could I speak up in this situation nicely or politely to somebody I know when I get in situations that maybe it's not detrimental or harmful to me, but I still need to protect my personal space or assert my personal space? Okay, so that's where that came into play. So I know that was a lot of information again, but I just wanted to share that with you, that is my definition of putting in the work. And this is lifelong. By no means do I ever feel like I'm all good now. It's just a constant and progression. And even when I've healed and worked on these other areas, there's always still something else. Okay. And the results can be anything from maybe you're not crying about certain things. Maybe you aren't sad about certain things as much. You don't repeat certain patterns. You're not doing these certain things that maybe you knew You didn't want to do them anymore, you know, but you didn't know how to fix them. So I was the person who was like, I knew there were things that I wanted to fix about myself, but I didn't know how to. Okay. So that really deep journey of change started about like 20 to age 22. So anyway, it's never too late to want to grow and work on yourself. Okay. So, Nora Finch, mental readiness coach, specializing in first responders and anyone else interested in working on yourself. I really should have actually been a love coach. I'm thinking these days. So, anyway, yeah, I hope to hear from you. Bye.